Cheerios protein cereal. Do you love Cheerios? Have you ever thought, you know what Cheerios need? Pea protein? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to Seriously, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and I eat and review hundreds of cereals a year in order to help you get the most out of your cereal experience. Every week, we explore what's new and exciting in the cereal world, or we explore old favorites together. So I'd love to hear what your favorite cereal is down in the comments. Today on Seriously, we're looking into another classic cereal that has fallen to one of the worst cereal cultural trends of the past few years. Yes, Cheerios have gone protein. Like so many others before them, Cheerios, an absolute classic, is trying to get into the protein-forward market by changing up their formulation just a little bit in order to bring up the available grams of protein in every bowl. In this case, each of these tout 8 grams of protein per serving, which I would say is actually quite low as far as this protein cereal fad goes. Quaker Protein Granola had 11 grams, and Wheaties Protein had 22 grams of protein per serving. So in comparison, this is baby stuff. But realistically, I am, at least in some ways, more excited for a protein transformation than I am with cereals that start from scratch and aim at protein exclusively. I'm saying that mostly because of Mouth Off cereal from a few years ago, which was one of the worst things I have ever eaten. And the protein was one of the biggest culprits there. You gotta watch that episode next if you haven't yet. But speaking out of the other side of my mouth, I am terrified that this cereal will ruin the good name of Cheerios. Cheerios is nearly a can't miss for me. I love Honey Nut Cheerios, and I've been consistently impressed with their other fruity flankers over the years. Frosted Lemon comes to mind, Peach Mango was fantastic, and all sorts of other great ones. The last thing in the world I thought when eating those lovely cereals was, I wish there was more pea protein in this, because that's what's happening here. Yes, the wonderful stable oats of normal Cheerios have been diminished to make room for pea protein. That sounds horrible. My guess is that it will inevitably make these more foamy, more insubstantial. That's only a guess. We'll have to wait and see. As far as flavors go, I think they've chosen pretty wisely here. First, they have cinnamon, which hopefully will harken back to some of their hearty offerings like Cheerios Oat Crunch or Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. And this other one continues the strong strawberry trend of 2025. Now, hopefully this version of strawberry will bring some connection to fruity or strawberry banana Cheerios, which I loved. So I'm really banking on these familiar-ish flavors to keep the protein taste at bay and help trick us into thinking that we're just enjoying one of our classic favorites. Because in the end, I want to use all of my cereal expertise to help you decide if you need a bowl of Cheerios protein. Hey, if you made it this far, I hope they never mix you with pea protein. Would you do me one more favor? Would you like this video? That would really help me out. All right, I think I am ready. I have got my bowls. I got my spoon. I've got my wonderful, wonderful milk. And of course, I have the cereal of the hour, Cheerios protein. Now, I didn't talk about this at the beginning, but both of these have like an activity on the box. It's a spot the differences thing. And for the cinnamon one, it's totally harmless. It's a camping scene and they are on cinnamon logs. Is that what they're called? There's even like a cinnamon log canoe happening here. So really cute. But I got to take issue with this strawberry one, because you can see they're picking strawberries, but they're using a ladder, making it seem like these are strawberry trees. Strawberries don't grow on trees, they grow on little bushes. Maybe you've been to one of those like pick your own strawberry patches. This is very misleading unless these people are like very, very tiny. But I think Cheerios is a trusted brand, and I don't want to imagine that they're going to be misleading the youth of America into thinking that strawberries grow on giant tall trees. That just wouldn't be right. All right, let's give these a try. I actually want to start with the cinnamon one. Let's open these up and see what they look like in a bowl. Well, I can tell you They even sounded less substantial as they were hitting the bowl. They're also a tiny bit smaller O's. I wonder why that is. Why wouldn't they just make them the same size as a regular Cheerio O? These are definitely somewhere between the regular Cheerios and like the Honey Nut Cheerio minis that they had last year. These are Cheerio mids for some reason. And they're lighter. They made a more tinkle noise on the side of the bowl when I poured them in. They look fine. They look just the same as maybe the brown of a Honey Nut Cheerios would, although they don't have quite the sheen on them that I expected. But it's not off-putting, a little boring maybe, but not horrible. They smell of cinnamon. Cinnamon is in the air. Now that I've poured them, we got to give these things a try. Let's try Cheerios Protein Cinnamon. Oh no. Jeez. The heck? I do not like it. Listen, cereal companies, you need to stop using pea protein because the texture is so gross. It really does foam up in your mouth. Geez, I am so glad they kept themselves to 8 grams of protein here, because if they had pushed any farther, I don't even think I'd be able to eat it. When you put this in your mouth, the first couple of chews tastes Cheerios-ish, but that illusion is quickly destroyed because it takes on this texture of mattress foam, and it begins expanding in your mouth. It like envelops my teeth. Ay, ay, ay. I am not a fan of that texture. I fear we have to put milk on it, though, to give it a fair shake, which, from past experience, will bring out the foaminess even more. Possibly that won't happen here. We'll have to see. All right, let's try Cheerios Protein Cinnamon in milk. Well, the milk helped a little bit. The added moisture kept that foaminess at bay, but just barely. Let me try it one more time. Yeah, the ticket here is to use lots of milk and swallow fast. You do not want to chew these things for a long time, because the more you chew, the more it's an uphill battle to swallow. Geez, I am really let down by these. Like I said, I almost exclusively am a big fan of Cheerios varieties. Not this one. It is a not recommend for me. Also, I gotta say, it leaves kind of a weird aftertaste. I have to admit that Honey Nut Cheerios has an aftertaste to it that's very oaty, and it lasts for a while on your breath and in your mouth. These aren't even that, though. These have a different kind of yuckier aftertaste. Boy, I would never buy these again. I would not give them to my kids. They are not worth the 8 grams of protein that they are touting. I would give this a very low score, a 0.5. Dang, that really stinks. All right, maybe the strawberry ones are good. Maybe they're different. They're probably not, but let's open these things up and see. Well, we continue our journey of seeing how different companies, different cereals handle the pink level of strawberry cereals this year. I would say this is right in the middle. It's not pastel pink. It's not vibrant neon pink. It's somewhere in the middle. Certainly more pink than this other one over here. It's not going to blow your eyes out of their sockets. And that's fine. This is a very Cheerios level pink. Boy, if the other one smelled a little bit like cinnamon, this one smells a ton like strawberry. And it's pretty good smell. It doesn't smell like artificial strawberry. In fact, I read on it that there's real strawberry puree in here. That's great. Hopefully, all of that will cover up the nasty texture of the other one. Let's give a try to Cheerios Protein Strawberry. Well, dry, I like this one a ton better. Super good strawberry flavor. Thank goodness. General Mills has always done a great job, like I said, with the fruit flankers of Cheerios, and this one is no exception. And I feel like it didn't have the same expansive foaminess of that other one. Maybe I just got a lucky bite, but this one so far I think is substantially better than the cinnamon. Let's put milk on it, see what happens. You know, I just noticed when I poured the milk in that most of them are this mid-size, but there are a couple of them that are regular Cheerios size. Why are there big ones in here? I'm sure that's a mistake, but look it, that's totally the case that some are much larger than others. That's not going to affect my score. I just think it's interesting. All right, let's give a try now to Cheerios Protein Strawberry in milk. Yeah, this one's way better. I actually do think they have a similar amount of foaminess, but I think the strawberry flavor is doing it a lot of good. It's doing a lot of the hard work to trick me into thinking this is fine. That other one I was repulsed by. I didn't like it, flat out didn't like it. This one I'm okay with. If I was a kid and my parent put this down in front of me, I would not spit it out of my mouth. I'd say, Mom, this doesn't seem right. And she'd have to admit that it's the protein version, but I probably would still finish a bowl. Let me have another bite and see if that's true. I have a theory that they made the O's smaller so that you could swallow faster, so that you didn't have to chew it as long as you need to chew regular Cheerios. And that's a big favor that they have done for us eaters, because you need to swallow fast as you can. If you can put this in your mouth, chew twice and swallow, that's the way to go. If you find yourself on chew 6 or 7, you're in danger. You are in trouble, my friend. Probably the best way to eat this cereal would just be to like open up your throat and pour it straight down. Then you have your 8 grams of protein. Well, I'm trying to be positive here, but it's not working very well. This is not very good. It is way better than that one. To the cinnamon kind, I gave a 0.5 out of 5. As far as ratings for the strawberry goes, I'd give it slightly higher, a 1. That's still terrible, not good, but twice as good as the other one, half as bad as the first flavor. So I highly recommend, if you have the choice of only these 2 cereals, that you go with the strawberry version. Completely avoid this cinnamon one if you're able. Well, friends, we have done it all. We talked, we ate, we found out that 8 little grams of protein is still enough to bring the grossness. And for now, it's enough. Listen, if you want to try today's cereal for yourself, you shouldn't. But they are available at most grocery stores and places like Walmart and Target, so you should have no trouble picking them up if that's what you want to do to yourself. Now listen, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with what cereal we should look at together in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Bye-bye.